Imagine opening a brand new business location, only running it 3 days a week, so Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and still managing to get 3,000 booked appointments and over 3,000 customer calls in just 8 months. That's exactly what we managed to do for a helicopter tour business in San Antonio, Texas, and here's the proof. The report for 2023. So they opened around April. This is the full report for that year. And as you can see, this is the amount of appointments that we managed starting around April the 3rd or the 4th. And we were only using partial channels at this point. Doesn't even take into account, of course, walk-ins and people that didn't go through the system. But this is what's possible with an integrated system. We're able to do it for them in just 8 months. In this video, I'm not really trying to sell you anything. I'm just gonna show you exactly the steps, the mistakes, and the lessons that you can apply to really any appointment-based business to achieve this kind of results. And this is how we pulled it off. First, the challenge, and it was a big one. Why? Because the owner already had 4 locations, but he never really did any internet or digital marketing, and there was a lot that we were lacking to really get started quickly. Basically, in this new San Antonio location, it was hitting in an airport with no traffic, as you can see on the map. There was a competitor right next door. Okay, this is a location and there was no traffic, no foot traffic, nothing big going around. So they depended 100% on what we could do for them in terms of digital acquisition of customers. They had no content, no photos, no videos, no Google My Business location created. And the owner really never ran ads or did anything digital before. And he was very skeptical about this. He wasn't 100% sure if it would work. And up until now, we had worked with some service and appointment-based businesses, but never with a brand new helicopter tour company. And the system needed to be perfect because we needed to get him appointments consistently. It couldn't just be like a 1 month or 3 month marketing campaign. It really had to be a system. He was very skeptical about this, and even us, our team, weren't 100% sure we would make it, because even though we had worked with some appointment-based businesses before, we never did it with a brand new helicopter tour company in the middle of nowhere. So we really had to prove him wrong, and we really had to build a system that would be consistent because he had no other way of getting traffic. 4 steps, a 4-step build. First, we did the funnel and the website because they had none. Then we did the CRM and the automations. Then we created the traffic system through ads. And fourth, we connected all of this to make one system that will be very effective. The first thing we did was we needed a place where people would go online, right? He had nothing good in terms of organic social media. So we needed a website and we needed it quickly. Now, this website, as you can see, the design is not great, but the offer is very precise. Basically, it's like any funnel or any website. You have to keep it simple nowadays. People don't really scroll down. But we had 3 call to actions. They could book their trip, they could call us, or they could get the direction. Then over here, we had a video, more on this later. And we basically grabbed the TripAdvisor ratings that he had for other locations, and we put them here to create some sort of social proof before we had any reviews, because again, the location was new, we had no reviews. We needed a way for people to trust our ads, to trust our emails, and to trust this brand new location. As you can see, very, very simple website. We hired a designer, so they would have a dynamic map key of where the helicopter would fly. People could take a look at the trips. Again, targeting some SEO keywords like best attractions and fun things to do in San Antonio, talking about the experience, saying that it's, couple and family friendly, so we could get the customer avatars that we wanted. And then again, very simple, but very effective. An FAQ, which is really important. Your website doesn't need to be beautiful or complicated. Something like this with very clear call to actions, some social proof, and a video showing the experience could really work and make wonders, as you can see in the numbers we generated with this website, with this funnel. The second step was the backend system. And we use GoHighLevel for that, but you can really use any CRM. And this is how we set it up. First, this is the pipeline. At the beginning, we weren't sure, but we were very clear in one thing. We wanted, and the owner wanted, calls and bookings. So we started trying to get leads in an interested stage. We had a missed call stage, and then a completed call stage, booked appointments. And we even had an online waiver that was never used. And even we were asking for reviews. The booked appointment stage, because we found that that was the best conversion event for this location. By getting booked appointments, we would increase the chances that someone would show up at the location. And the second thing we built was, after the pipeline, the opportunities pipeline, we needed a really good calendar system. And as you can see here, this was a calendar. It was only open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. But once someone entered this calendar, they would enter the automations, which is where the magic actually happens. With appointment-based businesses, you need really good follow-up, really good automation. So once people book, they do end up showing up at your location. And as you can see here, these are the kind of automations that we built for him. We had interested ones, we had some follow-up, we had missed calls, notifications for the staff, we had follow-ups, reviews, a bunch of different things. Really, the important one was this one that you see, which was the appointment confirmation and reminders. You can see we ended up getting 8,800 people, in over almost 2 years, but this was the main one. And if we go inside and we take a look at it, well, if you know something about workflows, basically once someone books an appointment, then a bunch of stuff happens, such as, well, in his example, we had the different tours that people could take. So we would just do a quick calculation here to see around how much money they would spend. And then we would send all of the information back to Google, back to Meta. So we would tell the ads, hey, this person came from Google or from Meta, and we could optimize it. And then they would just get a confirmed SMS, email confirmation. Then 24 hours before, they would again get another SMS, another email. And then this would keep going up until an hour before the tour. And we also built a custom workflow here in case the location would be closed. If there were any weather problems or for any reason the location was closed, the system would automatically send notifications to the booked appointments, telling them, hey, we're closed, but you can book again and come next week. In terms of the CRM setup, we also had to buy a phone number for him, so we could send SMS and we could really track all the calls and all the communications that were coming through the system, and we also did that. The step number 3 was, we had the funnel, we had the CRM, the backend system, we needed a way to get traffic. And the problem with this client is that, again, he had no content, he had not a big social media presence, and this location was brand new. So the fastest way to do this is with ads, and we wanted to try, well, first Google, because Google is a great option for location-based businesses, and then Meta, because Meta, Instagram, and Facebook, everyone is there, and we thought helicopter tours could be a really good, interesting thing to show on Instagram, and people would end up booking because it's exciting. Not many people have been in a helicopter, so we proceeded to craft an offer, different angles, and start the Meta setup and the Google Ads setup. Again, the problem is, to run ads, you need some content. So we literally had to ask the owner to pay a local videographer, and then we scripted the entire ad. We talked to him a couple of times. He went and he shot a great video. And this is the video that the videographer showed. And I'm just gonna point out key elements of an ad. Okay, so really important. If you take a look at the video, there really aren't any amazing views or anything. When we crafted this script and talked to the videographer, we wanted to achieve really 3 things. So number 1, we really wanted to show the customer avatar, so the ideal client for the helicopter tour business. And we determined that it was, first, young couples, as you can see here. Second, more mature couples or families. And third, that it was an activity that was safe, that was friendly for the family, for children. And as you can see here, it's all in one take. And psychologically, this is really important. You need to show the customer avatar. So really important. We needed to show, what happens, how do you walk to the helicopter, once you get in, what happens, even what the pilot looks like, as you can see here. As you can see here, generally helicopter pilots are super cool, and they're telling you, about the city as you go in. So The 3 points were: first, customer avatar; second, that it was a family-friendly, a safe experience; and third, that people end up really happy at the end. So as long as you show those 3 things, a full experience, you show the customer avatar, and you end up showing the result, which is this couple being really happy, or this is the owner, by the way, them being super happy with the experience, your ad is gonna do well. And this video did so well. It's been running forever, and they're still using it to this day since 2022. In terms of the setup in Meta, we tried different things, but in the end, it was a booking confirmation ad set, which was trying to show this ad to the possible customer and have them schedule a helicopter tour. Now, we tried landing page views, we tried getting regular leads, we tried different approaches. This one was by far the best one. We should have just gone, it's one of the mistakes we made, which we'll go into later. We should have just gone straight into booked appointments, to be honest with you, because it's what worked. Now, onto Google, okay? We had to do a search campaign, and we had to do a performance max campaign. So a search campaign is basically when people search in Google, your business appears there. So the first step to do a really good search campaign, and why, as you can see the numbers on the screen, the campaign for this client was really effective, was because we spent a lot of time researching what prospective customers could find. After analysis, we were like, okay, it's a helicopter tour. So we did things like things to do in San Antonio today or this weekend. What's things to do in San Antonio for couples? These are really prevalent searches people do when they are visiting a new city. Things like best weekend activities in San Antonio. And of course, we had to compete. So helicopter ride or helicopter tours in San Antonio. Then for the Performance Max campaign, it was a similar strategy, but the Performance Max utilizes the entirety of their Google inventory, such as YouTube, display, search, and Gmail. We had a funnel and a landing page where people would go. We had a smart system behind it with appointment reminders, and we had the traffic, which were Google ads and Meta ads. But we needed to tie it all together. We installed Metapixel, the Google tag, and Google Analytics, and proceeded to connect and create all of the conversions. And what this means really is when someone goes into the website and they call or they book an appointment or they just visit, we can utilize Meta or Google to retarget or increase the likelihood that they're going to end up booking a tour. And this is super important. This is what makes it a complete and a consistent system. A tip that works for us: install all your data, keep all your analytics in check, and your ads, your social media, all of your online efforts are gonna work if you have a really good database and a really good data system. We completed the 4 steps: funnel, we had CRM and system, we had our ads or our traffic source, and we had it all connected as one system, which nowadays, funnily, we call Moneycopter after a lot of trial and error. And in terms of time, it took us about 30 days working, 4 people, a designer, a developer, a marketing expert, and our account manager to develop and create all of this. After about a month, we were ready to launch. However, we did have some mistakes. So mistake number 1 was when we started advertising in Meta and Google started working immediately, but Meta took a little bit longer. We were trying awareness campaigns, we were trying traffic campaigns, we were trying to get leads or to get calls. And really, the best conversion signal, so the best way to get customers digitally for any appointment-based business, is to run ads that exactly do that get the customer to book an appointment, to book a helicopter tour. We tried too many things. In reality, we should have just started with a campaign that was just asking the customer to book a free helicopter tour. And then mistake number 2 was that after we started and we started getting some traction, the owner wanted to increase the show up rate. So he was seeing that some bookings were really not showing up. So he asked us to do a paid appointment booking system, and we implemented it, but it was a huge mistake. So as you can see here on the report, we started really well. So from April the 4th to like May, May 15th, this is when he asked us to do the paid bookings, and immediately the bookings dropped, and it took us a while because the campaigns had to relearn and we had to set everything again. Now, here's the thing. We tested free bookings versus small deposit, and the show up rate did increase. The problem was we went from 100 free bookings and a 50% show up rate, so 100 people would book and 50 people would show up, to around 25 paid bookings utilizing the same ads and the same budget. So even though the show up rate was way lower, we were getting a lot of bookings. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is that we need to lower the barrier to entry. We just needed people to show up, and once they're there at the location, then they buy, any of the tours. But if we increase the barrier to entry, so we were asking people for a credit card before booking, it meant the booking process was a hassle and less people actually trusted the company and did it. So we reversed it really fast, and again, if you take a look at the graph, it started working really well and it was really consistent over that year. The lesson here also is that every business wants quality leads, but really you need a lot of volume first to scale. The key was just get them to book the appointment and get them to a location. Instead of trying to get them to call, with free appointments, we could use automations to increase the show up rate, and the customers felt that even though their booking was free, they had an appointment to get to. So we would send them an SMS and emails being like, hey, even though your appointment is free, your appointment is confirmed. There's no need for a credit card, but please be 15 minutes ahead of time. And we have a pilot picked already specifically for your tour, so please be on time. And this made people feel like it was real. They actually needed to show up, even though it was a free appointment. As you can see here, even the calls stopped coming in after we made the appointments paid. So it's crazy the effect that it can have. That was a 2023 report, and that's what we did to achieve it in 8 months, but it didn't stop there. As you can see here, this is the all-time performance, and the results really are amazing. We kept working and optimizing the system. So you saw how we set it up, but really the optimization never stops. We ended up having over 7,800 online bookings and over 9,000 calls. These are the 5 lessons that we learned from this case, and that again, you can apply to your own business. So first, you need to lower the barrier to entry. So no matter what you do, you always need to make it super easy for customers to call you or go to your business or book an appointment. Tested it, paid versus free, and volume beats friction. When we added the deposits, bookings tanked. When we made it free with strong reminders, bookings exploded. So really, the easier you make it for the customer to try your product or service for the first time, the faster you're gonna grow and get volume, data, and momentum. You need to reduce the friction at top of the funnel. Lesson number 2, don't break what's already working. So we knew the system was working, so we should have told the owner like, hey, no, if we add more layers to the booking system, if we ask customers for their credit card, really it's gonna mess up the ads and the signals and the system. So really we should have told him, hey, if the system is working, don't overthink it, let's optimize it and just keep doing the same thing. The lesson number 3 is that this system just kept evolving and keeps evolving. It's not static. So once we set it up, we had to, on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, keep testing new angles, new creatives, new type of messaging. We had to A/B test the funnel or the website. We had to increase the amount of emails and SMS that we were sending. We really had to monitor show up rate and really try to improve the percentage of people that were showing up at the location. And we even added improvements to the system, such as an automatic review system. But again, the key lesson is that a system really is never done. It's living, it's not a static thing. So you need to keep working on it if you want it to work for you. Lesson number 4 is every business needs to solve the content bottleneck fast. So in this case, it took us about 2 weeks of, finding the video creator, scripting and doing everything. If he already had decent content, we would have scaled and started way faster. But the other part is, don't wait for perfect creative, just have a lot of creative. You just need one clear, authentic piece of content that reflects your business and the experience the customer is going to get. And the lesson number 5 is really that digital visibility, as you can see the numbers, beats location visibility. So the owner thought it wasn't gonna work, but we showed them that with a proven system, with a system that was working together, he could get 100% of his clients digitally. He didn't need to rely on having a great location next to a high traffic highway. He could actually open locations and get customers 100% online. And that's how we turn a San Antonio hidden helicopter location into a booking machine. Honestly, this isn't about helicopters. All of the tactics and every single step that we took to achieve this can be applied to any appointment-based system or business. And if you found this breakdown valuable, hit subscribe. We haven't posted a lot of organic content, but we have been doing this for over 7 years. And we're gonna keep dropping case studies, mistakes we've made, how we have scaled different companies, and things that could help you. So hit the subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.